876 with a score of 21. Seven, seven, eight with a score of 22. Seven, seven, seven with a score of 21. And that concludes small prints. Thank you, judges. Our next category is monochrome. Eight, eight, eight with a score of 24. Seven, seven, seven with a score of 21. Seven, seven, seven with a score of 21. Seven, seven, six with a score of 20. Eight, seven, eight with a score of 23. Seven, eight, nine with a score of 24. Six, eight, eight with a score of 22. Eight, eight, seven with a score of 23. Seven, eight, eight with a score of 23. Eight, seven, seven with a score of 22. 676 with a score of 19. Seven, eight, nine with a score of 24. Eight, eight, eight with a score of 24. Seven, seven, seven with a score of 21. Eight, eight, eight with a score of 24. Seven, seven, seven with a score of 21. Eight, seven, eight with a score of 23. Eight, eight, eight with a score of 24. Seven, seven, seven with a score of 21. That concludes our monochrome prints. Thank you, judges. Moving on to color prints. Seven, seven, eight with a score of 22. Nine, eight, seven with a score of 24. Six, seven, seven with a score of 20. Seven, seven, six with a score of 20. Seven, eight, seven with a score of 22. 666 with a score of 18. Six, seven, seven with a score of 20. Seven, seven, seven with a score of 21. Eight, seven, seven with a score of 22. Seven, eight, seven with a score of 22. Seven, seven, seven with a score of 21. Nine, eight, nine with a score of 26. Eight, seven, nine with a score of 24. Six, eight, eight with a score of 22. Seven, seven, seven with a score of 21. Six, seven, seven with a score of 20. Six, six, seven with a score of 19. Six, seven, seven with a score of 20. Seven, seven, eight with a score of 22. Seven, eight, eight with a score of 23. And that concludes our competition. Thank you, judges. We're going to turn the lights down. Okay. All right, our first category is small prints, and our first honorable mention with a score of 20 is Three Tulips by Beth Larson. Our next honorable mention with a score of 20 is Taking Off by Kevin Morano. Honorable mention with a score of 20, Soft Landing by Judd Plattenberg. Honorable mention with a score of 20, Jess Brown Eyes by Bill Woody. Third place with a score of 21, Calypso No. 2 by Bill Lindahl. Third place with a score of 21, Limpkin Portrait by Dan Landis. Third place with a score of 21, Hanging On by Kevin Morano. Third place with a score of 21, Pigeon Guillemots by Bill Welsh. Third place with a score of 21, Gretel in the Fort by Bill Woody. Third place with a score of 21, Titmouse in Flight by Bill Welsh. First place with a score of 22, Night Heron Nest Builder by Dan Landis. And first place with a score of 22, Screw City by Beth Larson. All right, moving on to monochrome prints. We have honorable mention with a score of 23, Forks by Beth Larson.
Oh, why did Jess have to go for a close?
Honorable mention with a score of 23, Falls in Sol Duke by Bill Welsh. Honorable mention with the score of 23, White in Motion by Judd Plattenberg. Honorable mention with a score of 23, Looking Down by Kevin Morano. Moving on to first place with a score of 24, White Sands, New Mexico by Judd Plattenberg. First place with a score of 24, Old Street Bridge by Paul Bruce. First place with a score of 24, Matte Moment by Bill Lindahl. First place with a score of 24, Fixer Upper by Paul Bruce. First place with a score of 24, Charleston Bridge by Bob Hawkins. And our last first place with a score of 24, Driftwood Beach Moonrise by Bob Hawkins. Next, we have color prints. And our first honorable mention is a score of 21, Owlette's number 52 by Beth Larson. Our next honorable mention with a score of 21, Bar Harbor Sunrise, Bob Hawkins. Honorable mention with a score of 21, Sedona Reflection by Beth Larson. Moving on to fifth place with a score of 22, Old Motor and Boiler by Judd Plattenberg. Fifth place with a score of 22, Bonaventure Cemetery Lane by Bob Hawkins. Fifth place with a score of 22, Southwest by Ed Paniqua. Fifth place with a score of 22, Camilla at the Beach, number 1 by Bill Woody. Fifth place with a score of 22, Turtle Lineup by Bill Lindahl. Fifth place with a score of 22, Egret on a Mission by Dan Landis. Fourth place with a score of 23, Sunset on Siesta Key by Dan Landis. Second place with a score of 24, Bluebird Landing by Bill Welsh. Second place with a score of 24, Good Catch by Judd Plattenberg. And first place with a score of 26, Singing Meadowlark by Bill Welsh. moving on to our award of merit. I'm going to do the first two. And I picked this one by Bill Welsh. It's called Plumbing Nightmare. I really loved the all the structure. Your eyes just kind of get lost in this with all the things you can look at. It's sharp. I just love the grunge. It's really draws your eye. Very nice. The next one that I chose was called Morning in the Smokies by Bill Woody. And I really loved all of the gradations in the mountains and all the tones. Very, very moody. And I know that I've attempted to get this shot many times, but never quite captured it as well as this. So great job, Bill.
These are two of my award of merits. The first one is by Dan Landis. I love the impact this has. I think people who know me know I have a love for reflections. I really enjoy this photo. It just draws me right in. I can see that it has great tone. It has all the colors of monochrome, from the darkest blacks to the white of whites, and all the mid-tones in between. So I think it has a good impact, and it really caught my eye. This second one is from Ed Paniqua. I love this. It really caught my eye. It has, for me, it has great impact. And I'm like, I want to see, what is that? And when I see it up close, it's a coral. It also looks to me like a alien or a robot. So the ambiguity of it is really nice. It just, it is well printed, it's well shot, it's well lit. It's tough to shoot cars without getting too much reflection. And I just really overall like the impact of it.
Hi, this is Ron Wilson. I'm going to do the critique. They asked me to do the critique tonight, which is pretty great since I fed the photos to the judges and I didn't get to see any of them. So I've got some of the non-winners here. This first one is Tango Dream by Bill Lindall. This caught my eye, and I had to pick it up and look at it to make sure I knew what was going on here. This is a dance shot, action, pretty dramatic. This is a great image of low key. Low key is images with very strong shadows, high contrast. Typically has a dark image here. I think it's caught at a dramatic moment. And then I say, well, how could it be made better? I wish I could see just a little bit more of the bodies, and I don't know if that could be enhanced. And then right at the face, for some reason, there's extra light there. I think it's just a little bit too much, but other than that, I think it's a great capture of dance at a critical moment. We've got Quiet Walk by Beth Larson. This is an excellent black and white print. Great blacks and whites, a lot of tonality in between. A great perspective looking down this pathway through these trees. I like the fact that the walker and the dog are low in the image. It emphasizes the height of the trees. You can see detail in the snow. It's very well done. Maybe with the composition, it was judged to be a little centered, and it is. I find it very enjoyable, but for competition, could the composition been improved at all? And maybe you could experiment with cropping either a little bit from the left and taking the big tree out, or a little bit from the right and taking the big tree out. That would move the subject off center. Be something to take a look at.